Welcome to the SFL's 13th championship game kickoff show. The championship is right around the corner alongside Charles Doherty. I'm Cameron Irvine, about 27 minutes from kickoff right now. And as the field crews get everything ready and everybody gets hyped from the stadium at Richard L. Snowden Memorial, we are here to, recap the season a little bit, Charles, and preview this matchup. This is such a monumental game. Neither team has ever won a title. Both have been there once before. Seattle is the Dallas Roughnecks way back a long time ago, and Denver just last year in a loss to Alaska. Charles, we welcome you in. How are you doing tonight? And what most excites you about this matchup?
Wow, this is this season went fast. I mean, we couldn't pick a better matchup for a championship game. We've got excellent, I would say, potential Hall of Fame running backs on both sides going head to head against each other, and it's going to be exciting to see what they do on the field. It's almost, I hate to say it, but it's almost sad that one team's got to lose because they both did such great jobs this season.
When you look at how the playoffs broke out, Charles, it was a pretty unbelievable turn of events in a number of ways. Seattle wins on the last play of the game against Alaska. Then they do it again, winning on the last play in Baltimore. And that game, it almost put Matt Wilson in the hospital, I thought. I thought there was going to be some serious issues. But no, Matt Wilson and Mike Daggs did a phenomenal job calling that game. I mean, what did you take away from these playoffs as we just kind of look over the bracket and reflect?
Well, I mean, both teams have made a name for themselves. I think from a Denver standpoint, they're balanced. I mean, they do like to run, but they don't make a lot of mistakes. Seattle's more, I would say, more of a high flying, both in the air and also running on the ground with Sandman. So we've got two different extremes, but they both do it well. I'm trying to. If I was the coach, I wouldn't have been able to have any sleep this week trying to figure out how to scheme against the other team.
Yeah, I mean, Denver they've kind of had control a little bit more, I guess, than you could say Seattle has. They beat down Houston. That was a hot team, too. They were coming in on a 4-game winning streak. They won by 20, no problem. And then Tallahassee came in, and Denver got 3 straight interceptions on the last drives of those games to seal the deal. And so it'll be interesting if this game is close, Charles. Seattle, they know how to play in close games. Can Denver play in a close game in these big moments? That's a question I'm wondering.
Well, I think they can, and I kind of liken playing up against Denver as, you're on the ice and you're racing against Denver, and you're in the speed skates and they're in the Zamboni. And if you fall on the ice, the Zamboni's going to roll you over eventually. It's not fast, but it'll get you.
We'll break down the key matchups of the Seattle Tyrants and the Denver Nightwings in a little bit. But first, we're going to take a look at the top 10 plays of this season, Charles. It's one of everybody's favorite parts of the year. If you're new to the SFL, get ready to see some unbelievable plays.
I can't wait. How do you pick 10?
It was really difficult. In all of the preparation for the championship game all week long, this probably took the longest. It was a sensational season. The top 10 plays of the SFL's 13th season coming up. Enjoy.
Caught an ice spread, I-form spread. King calling the numbers. 7-step drop once again. Step up. There's a big arm. And he got Torres again. Torres breaks the tackle. Breaks another. Hollywood Boulevard. Torres makes some noise, baby.
Wow. Man, I tell you what. J.C. Torres sent the convention into a frenzy. I have never seen more grown men lose their life in one room at a single time. Look at all these broken tackles as J.C. Torres goes over 245 yards on the day, his second touchdown. That is a grown-ass man, Damon.
2 for 6 on third down. Carolina 2 for 3. As Pepper's going long in good coverage.
Yes!
It's caught by Pritchard. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Vancouver. Off the pass deflection. and you just couldn't contain yourself on that play because that was sensational from Rich Pratchard.
Could that been a little bit of the announcer juju? I said before he could have caught it off that bounce, and he did it on this play.
Watch this.
Wow.
Man.
Great presence there to know where the ball is and catch it.
That pass hauled in. It couldn't have been better coverage. And Vancouver's an extra point away from tying the game. The game, or the play, broke the chat room.
Here in Indianapolis, actually his best year, and he's coming on this year as well.
In the gun again is Roby on a 2nd and 7 play. Look to throw, plenty of time, left-hand side, the ball is intercepted, back the other way, and Houston may have a pick six to start the game, and they will. The defense comes up huge, and Aiden Davis, the quarterback, bringing it back to the house.
Wow, his first career interception, and he puts it in the end zone for 6. Talk about coming from nothing, Curtis. This guy found the SFL this year, entered the SFL draft, waited his turn, was selected by his hometown team, Houston Hyenas, was patient, and in week 4, his first interception goes to the house.
That's a great read on more.
7 yards to history for Reggie Street.
And wouldn't that be great to have not only the single game be tied for the single game touchdown record, but also be tied for the single game rushing record? That's definitely a way to make your impact be felt as a player. And it looks like they're going to run the ball with Streeter here.
Why wouldn't you just run out the clock? Streeter breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle! And he's into the open field. He's got it! We have a brand new record holder for all-time rushing yards in a single game. It's Reggie Streeter.
Congratulations, big fella. Just an absolute monster day, man, and I'm so happy for you, dude. What a great day for you, and congratulations on being put into the record books.
This is the first time 2 teams have scored over 40 each in the same playoff game since the Season 1 championship, which was 45-41.
Watch out for Maverick.
46-41 here. 4th down and 3. This one for the ball game. Dazzo to throw. Hit as he releases. It's complete! Bishop Warfield into the end zone. Touchdown. Baltimore reclaims the lead with 1:13 to go.
But they're still up to 13 to go, and Seattle has
3 timeouts.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Back and forth we go. Now over 90 combined points in this semifinal game.
Oh. Hold on.
Matt, do we need to call the medics to the booth?
My heart's beating through my chest strap. I'm going to unstrap myself and fall face first on the keyboard.
Stay in the chair, Matt. Stay in the chair. The chat absolutely blowing up. They're going just as bananas as we are.
Doubles look, 2 receivers either side. 7 in the box for Sioux Falls. Daz a 3-step drop. Pump fakes, now goes down the middle.
Oh
drop,
my gosh.
Knocked up in the air.
Oh
and
my
it's picked
gosh.
off at the 37-yard line. Is that Ringgold? It is a touchdown for Sioux Falls.
Wow.
Jay Ringgold.
Talk about capitalizing on plays. That ball went up. I don't know if I've ever seen a kick go up that high before.
Wow.
I think it might have hit one of the lights in the rafters there, but my gosh, they grabbed it when they needed to. Oh my God. Now they have complete control of this game, and the defense is just playing on another level. Unbelievable.
Get your umbrellas out because when it rains, it pours. 41.
EDG Hollywood will get this flip out. Another dynamic back with some room, and Hollywood, stop and go! 2 spins! Oh, unbelievable! That is the best touchdown I have ever seen! Oh, Eddie, have you ever seen a back make a move like that on the sideline?
You know what? I give him jokes all the time about him being a young pup in training, but I've seen this before from BDG Hollywood. He has a knack for making people miss on that sideline. He does it week in and week out. But however, I've never seen it quite to this extent. He's made 3-man wrist right there. That makes a 4th, and a 5th can't catch him. Touchdown Atlanta, and just like that, Seattle thought they tied the ball game up right back in it, and now they're down 7 once again. Extra point pending.
Kick it away. What if Douglas was surprised onside kick? That would be something.
Watch out for Dag.
On a return. Past the
better
30.
bring him down.
Jeffrey Daggs. He's in the open
no.
field. And to start
Look at that
overtime.
block.
Dags is going to finish it. Mexico City's going home with a victory.
He is the player of the game. Thank you. That's my vote. Unbelievable. Did you see that offensive line lay out? I think it was the kicker.
Jeffrey Dags on the first play of overtime has won the game for the Aztecs. Two kickoff returns for touchdowns and nearly a pick six, and you will never see a game end like that.
Not just the defense. It was a high-scoring game coming up here to the fourth quarter, and now it looks like the defense is starting to lock down both offenses.
And Chicago blocks the punt, and they recover it, and Chicago's going all the way, and the Wildcats take the lead on a block punt. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Punt rejected by number 31, Perry Elmore, and actually he was the one that recovered the fumble. But who was it that actually blocked the kick? That was 23. Brandon Vesey. And the Wildcats have taken the lead on a block punt. I have seen everything. Do something crazy on this final play. 2 seconds left. Can Seattle come back and win the game? Going long down the field. Oh my God! It's caught! Mason Kirby has won the game for Seattle! Oh man! I can't believe it! I can't believe it!
Gosh! Mason Quiet Kirby came in.
No way!
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
The three-time champs are out of the playoffs! Wow, Charles.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a special season. You know, and all those favorite plays, my favorite one was the first one. Shan, I've never seen that man move that fast. He went completely off the fan can in celebration of that touchdown. There's nothing like the convention, and we'll have one next summer. Location to be determined, but we'll have that answer very soon, and I can't wait for the next one.
You got to go. If you're out there considering going, you got to do everything you can to go to the convention. It's like SFL at a whole new level.
And the next major event is after tonight is the SFL Rookie Draft live from the 11 Sports Studios, December 14th, Saturday night. It's going to be one heck of a night. Season preview show. It's just gonna be a lot of fun preparing for 2020. But we've got Seattle and Denver still coming up tonight. We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back, break down the key matchups of tonight's ball game, and then it's kickoff time. SFL Nation, you're watching the SFL's 13th championship game kickoff show. Seattle and Denver coming up in 15 minutes. We'll be right back to the pregame after this. Welcome back to the SFL's 13th championship game kickoff show. Kickoff is now about 12 minutes away, and let's waste no time in breaking down the key matchups of tonight's game, Charles. First, let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Josh Miller and Jacques Luyendula have had different postseasons, very different postseasons. Luyendula, 119.3 QBR, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He is playing the best football of any quarterback I've seen play in the SFL, probably since Ron Cochran's dynasty years.
Wow, that's saying something.
Alaska.
That's a great compliment right there. The games I've seen, his accuracy is just incredible. He's throwing it in between where most quarterbacks can't make the ball go.
What do you make of Miller? He's had 582 passing yards. He's completing 71% of his passes. The touchdowns haven't been going to him. They've been going to McChesney, who has 6 in the postseason. So the stats a little bit misleading.
Definitely.
Because McChesney's stealing all his fantasy points.
Yeah, Josh Miller's kind of like a sleeping giant. We can't forget the playoff performance he had last season. It was near perfect. I mean, he had a 122.5 QBR, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, he was on fire. So he has the ability to do that.
Who do you think has the edge tonight? Miller's at home, so there's that. And man, he's kind of a streaky quarterback. But Seattle, man, they got burned in the passing game this past week. Who do you like, Charles?
Well, I think that from a defensive standpoint, the problem I have with Seattle is they let their opponents score too many points. And the championship teams have to shut – I haven't seen them shut a team down. They're going to need to do that tonight.
All right, so that's a look at the quarterbacks now. Probably the most exciting matchup of the night. It's the running game, the battle of 32s here. And Sandlin's postseason, 477 yards. That's in 2 games, ladies and gentlemen. 7.7 yards per carry. I mean, he has been untackleable, if that is a phrase to use. I don't know how Denver is going to do anything about Zach Sandlin tonight. Do you?
Well, they have to do something. I mean, I would say they have to commit to stopping him. I mean, it's going to put their cornerbacks and their secondary on man to man and out on an island. But I think you got to stop Sandlin, because if he gets into that gear, there's no stopping Seattle.
Sandlin 16 more carries than McChesney, and neither running back really does a lot through the air. We see a lot of swing city is the air quotes that we're using to describe, SFL running backs in the passing game. But these two teams, they're not all about that outside stuff. They are old school, ground and pound, and they love running the football between the tackles.
Man, I love watching it too. I mean, that's the type of football I like to watch. I mean, but they do have the ability, if one of the coaches decides to add a little wrinkle in, both of them have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield.
All right, let's take a look at the wide receivers. These are the top receivers on each team, and both have been pretty quiet so far in the playoffs. Their yards per catch, yards, catches, it's almost identical. What do you make of junior, senior, the third, and Giacomo Jones going a little quiet on the postseason?
I think they've been going up against outstanding defensive backs that have been shutting them down. They've been focusing on shutting them down and allowing folks like Logan Keel and Mason Kirby to step up.
Man, Kirby and Keel, Kirby specifically, has taken this postseason by storm. I mean, he's he's got almost half the yardage he had in the entire season just in these last couple of games. He's been an amazing story. Any idea? I mean, I think personally, Charles, whoever wins this game, it could come down to which one of these number 1 receivers on the depth chart steps up, because neither one of them has been very active recently.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I mean, the defensive backs for both teams are capable of shutting both Jones and Senior down. I think, like we've seen in the previous playoff games, it's going to be one of the second wide receiver or third wide receiver that's going to have the numbers.
So what's interesting is that the defensive backs that had the headlines this postseason have been the guys defending on the far end of the field, the number 2 receivers. So those are going to be some huge matchups. Kirby is going to be matched up against Armstrong most of the night. Logan Keel will be matched up against Martino. And these guys have been doing phenomenal, particularly Martino. I mean, when they signed him at the beginning of the season, they didn't really expect much out of that position. He's gotten them 2 picks here in the playoffs, and Armstrong leads all defensive backs with 3.
Yeah, and I've said in previous games, the one thing I like about Armstrong is he's not your prototypical back as far as size, height and weight go. He's one of the shortest, if not the shortest, cornerback out there. But he balls. I mean, he knows how to shut down the wide receivers, and he and Martino as well. And in the games I've done for Martino, he always seems to be around the ball. I mean, every time there's a tackle, a big play, either he's involved in it or he's like a half a step behind.
Look at that. Look at the picture on the right of Armstrong. That was a shot taken from the semifinal against Tallahassee. And that's Grayson Willis turning around to make a catch. And Armstrong took it off his shoulder pad on that interception. I mean, you can't get any closer than that. And I tell you, Denver defensive backs specifically, they have really stepped up over the last month or so of the season. They're forcing turnovers like nobody's business.
And that's the thing. Denver defense causes a lot of turnovers. And one of the things that the Seattle defense needs to do is they need to create turnovers and capitalize, get some points off those turnovers. The last, in the playoffs and at the end of the season, they haven't shown the ability to do that.
All right, well, these two teams, it's not like they haven't been here before. They've just been here before, in different spots. This is each team's second trip to the championship. Neither has a win, and these are your all-time records. I mean, Seattle's franchise has been around for 8 seasons. Denver's been around for 5. That's in total actuality time. That's 4 years for Seattle and 2.5 years for Denver of playing in this league and not getting a championship. And somebody's gonna get a championship tonight, and the community thought it was razor thin coming in. I think it's razor thin, just minutes from kickoff. I guess, Charles, how would you put a bow on, without giving away your keys to the game just yet? How would you put a bow on this season, Seattle and Denver getting to where they are now? And it's quite incredible that we're here at the end with these two teams, and we're not calling an Alaska game because they won 3 consecutive championships before these two came along.
It just shows you what both how great both franchises are. I mean, you can tell they put in the detail work, the time to do what it takes, and from what I hear, they have great locker rooms as well. I mean, people want to go play for them. They're quality organizations, and that quality is showing on the field and in the W column.
The Seattle Tyrants and the Denver Nightwings. We are T-minus 5 minutes away from kickoff from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium in Denver. It's going to be a rare night game in Denver. The crowd's going to be rocking. Denver's going to be in their all blacks. This is going to be a really tough atmosphere for Seattle to get a win in, but they can't be kept down. They just keep on climbing back, and they have been the cardiac kids of this postseason. When we come back from commercial break, we go out to Denver for tonight's SFL's 13th championship game. And don't go anywhere. You will not want to miss the hype video coming up for the championship before we headed out to the field. You've been watching the SFL's 13th championship game kickoff show, and kickoff is right around the corner here on 11 Sports. We'll be right back. 21 degrees. It's a beautiful, cold, chilly night in Denver, Colorado. And you are watching the SFL's 13th championship game between the Seattle Tyrants and the Denver Nightwings. Alongside Charles Doherty and Gerald Smith and Rochelle Colston on stats. Welcome to the ball game. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, and Charles, we cannot wait for some awesome football tonight. What do you think, Charles?
Oh, my gosh.
The moment is here.
Can't believe it. It's going to be a great game. I mean, we talked a little bit in the pregame on how evenly matched these teams are. It's going to be a slugfest, I think, throughout the game.
Denver and Seattle, one of these teams tonight will get their first SFL championship in a combined 13 tries, and Seattle will call heads. It is heads, and Seattle wants the football. Charles, your keys to the game.
I think that both teams need to ride on the horses that got them there, and that's give the ball to Sandlin as well as give the ball to McChesney on the Denver side. We talked about Seattle on defense needs to create some pressure, create some turnovers, and capitalize from a point standpoint on those. On the Denver side, I think if they're able to shut down, Seattle's able to shut down McChesney at all, it's going to be on Josh Miller's shoulders. So they need to do whatever they can to disrupt Miller.
We're all ready. The SFL's 13th championship game is upon us. And Kramer Jackman's got the ball on the tee. And a hand in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it. Kick it. We're underway. From 2 yards deep in the end zone, on the return is Bryce Battle out to the 22-yard line. And here we go. Nick Castle, on the return. Here we go. Jacques Luyendula. He has been sensational this postseason, and he will start on offense.
Yeah, he's been on fire. He's been extremely accurate. He's getting rid of the ball quickly, and he needs to keep doing that tonight.
First down and 10 at the 22-yard line with 2 receivers, one to either side. That's JS3 at the top of the screen. Mason Kirby at the bottom. Luyendula will start with a pass. He's pressured a bit, and the pass is nearly intercepted. It brings up second down and 10. And let's meet the Seattle offensive impact players tonight.
Jacques Luyendula, quarterback, Medford, New York.
Zach Sandlin, also known as Mr. Sandman. I'm the running back for the Seattle Tyrants, and I'm currently in Princeton, West Virginia.
Junior Senior the third, wide receiver, Kansas City, Missouri.
Mason Kirby, receiver, Plainfield, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Nick Castle, wide receiver from Kent, Ohio.
Bryce Battle, wide receiver from D. Duval.
Third down and 1 after the Zach Sandlin run. And we appreciate all those guys from Seattle's offense contributing to the broadcast tonight. On third down and short, Sandlin going to take the handoff. He's not going to get there. Mike Sawchuk with the tackle, and it's a 3-and-out for Seattle, 4th and 1.
Big stop, big statement by Mike Sawchuk and that Denver Nightwing defense. It's what they needed to do. They blasted through that line. They moved the line of scrimmage back into the backfield and was able to crush that run.
So Seattle will have to punt on their opening possession here in Denver. And that is not what the Tyrants were hoping for by receiving the football here tonight. Low snap, Denver coming after it. And now on the return for Denver will be Bryce Battle. And Battle will get up to the 32-yard line. And we'll get a chance to meet Josh Miller. And remind you, as we have been all postseason long, Denver hasn't lost to Seattle or hasn't lost to anybody but Alaska in the last 17 games.
Yeah, and they're at home too, so that's another added point in their favor.
First down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Handoff to Jared McChesney on the first play. Has a first down to the 48. A 16-yard pickup for McChesney and the Nightwings offense.
That was a statement run, too. Denver said, we can do that, too, Seattle. We can put our head down and blow through the line like you guys did on that one play.
1st and 10 at the 48. After the 16-yard pickup, Allen now to the left of Miller, far left of the line, with 3 backs in the backfield as Denver is looking to run it heavy early. They'll hand it off to McChesney running right. Oh, just throws a Tyrant to the ground, and that's a gain of just 1. Angel Salinas makes the play, and let's meet this Denver offense. Impact players.
Josh Miller, quarterback, Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
Jared the J Train McChesney from Aurora, Colorado, running back of the Denver Nightwings.
Logan Gill, wide receiver, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Avery Allen, tight end, Alexandria, Indiana, the Denver Nightwings.
Kramer Jackman from Kansas City, Missouri, kicker for the Denver Nightwings.
3rd down and 3 after the McChesney run here for Denver at the Seattle 45-yard line. 8:13 to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Miller will drop to throw. Fires it out to McChesney. He's got some room. 1st down. Inside the 40. Down to the 35-yard line. Denver moving the change. That is their 2nd first down of the drive.
Yeah, very smart play to run on 3rd down. I think they were expecting maybe a run on that one on 3rd and short, and they caught him by surprise. They were able to do that swing pass to McChesney, and he can show you what he can do with the ball as a receiver.
Vinson with the tackle on the outside, along with number 45, Angel Salinas, his second tackle of the night. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of Seattle. Denver is looking impressive early. 3 minutes in, Miller changing the play. 1st and 10 at the 35. Miller going long to Keel. One-on-one coverage is intercepted by Mickey Martino. Martino breaks a tackle and gets it out to the 20, and Seattle's got a turnover.
Martino had the wide receiver blanketed. Logan Keel had no shot at getting that ball. That was great defense by Martino. And now they're going to have to turn that around and put some points on the board. We said that was one of the key ways for them to win this game.
So Martino makes the play, no score, and Seattle's defense really steps up as Denver was all over it on that opening possession. Now man coverage across the board for the Nightwings. Lou Yandula is in the gun with Sandlin to his right, and he'll drop to throw, fire it short. That pass caught over the middle, a pickup of 8 to the 28-yard line. Tristan Carr with that reception. Denver is outscoring their opponents 44-14 in the first quarter of postseason home games in franchise history, but nothing so far.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep their foot on the pedal here. I think Seattle has normally puts most of their points up in the 2nd and 4th quarters.
Hand off Sandlin, 1st down, 35-40. Zach Sandlin breaks a tackle, 45. Gets away from another one past midfield to the Denver 46-yard line, and Sandlin's got by far his best run of the night for a 1st down.
Yeah, both of these running backs are just showing how great they are. I mean, they both Sandlin and McChesney, the last 2 games they were player of the game, and they're both fighting to get the only one of them is going to get it today.
At the end of that play on the tackle was number 52 for Denver, Adam Wiseman. And we'll get to some impact players on that Denver Nightwing defense here in just a moment. There's now 3 backs in the backfield. Don't see this out of Seattle too often as they're trying to get the most out of Zach Sandlin tonight. 4-3 look defensively. The handoff goes to Sandlin. Oh, great play by Wiseman. And let's meet some of those Denver Nightwings impact players on the defensive side of the ball.
Nicholas Kindler, defensive end, the boot.
Adam Wiseman, outside linebacker, Naptown, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Justin Jones, cornerback out of Memphis, Tennessee.
BJ Armstrong, cornerback, San Luis Obispo, California.
Lee Adama, cornerback, Dover High School, Kent County, Delaware, baby.
Nicholas Warner, strong safety, the University of California.
Davis.
Joshua Killmonger Vasquez. The Boogie Down, Bronx, New York.
3rd down and 6 for Seattle on the Denver 42, and Luyendula's pass going all the way down the field. Oh, it's dropped!
He had it.
In the hands of the intended receiver. Woo. That was Chris Latore Wallace, who had gotten wide open down the field and cannot make the play. And both offenses a little jittery here through the first half of the first quarter.
Yeah, the ball didn't look like it came out of Luyendula's hands quite as sharp as it has in the last couple games. It looked like it was a little behind the wide receiver.
So Seattle will have to punt the football away, and it should mean a difficult field position for Miller to start their second drive of the night, although it's going to fall short of the 10, caught by Battle at the 12, up to the 17-yard line. And with that, we'll take our first commercial break of the night. You're watching the SFL's 13th championship game. We are scoreless in Denver as these two teams battle for a title. We're back in a moment. .5:31 to go in the first quarter of play. No score. And we have met almost all of our impact players tonight on the field. Real people on the field right now watching alongside all of the fans out there just loving the coverage. And that is a sack for Jukin Rukin for Seattle's defensive front. The first sack of the night goes for a loss of 5.
First sack of the night for Rukin as well, a second in the playoffs, and that's what they need to do. He just blew up that line. They drove the line of scrimmage back and put pressure on Miller.
Man, both defenses dominating early. 2nd and 15 at the 12. Play action. Ooh. Oh, got crushed. Josh Miller took a punishing blow and completes that one somehow. Out to Giacomo Jones. That'll pick up 8 for 3rd and 7.
Yeah. Wish I could see who that was that did that pile driver on him.
Might have been Maverick or Rukin in the backfield for a second consecutive play.
That's got to hurt.
So 5:01 to go. 3rd down and 7. Denver last year scored 35 points in the championship game. Couldn't get it done. 2nd most points scored by a losing team, and the first since season, or the most since season 1. They lost that ball game 37-35. 3rd and 7 in a scoreless first quarter at the 20-yard line. Miller back to pass. Hit as he threw, and he won't get rid of it. Denzel Maverick with the sack. And Seattle's sack game is coming alive. Denver's going to go 3 and out.
Yeah, but Maverick and Rukin are fired up. They're causing havoc on that offensive line. They're going to need to. Denver's going to need to think of some way to keep them out of the backfield.
Denver's defense has dominated. We'll get to those rankings here in just a moment. 4:19 to go in the first quarter. Long kicks it away. That's Lily Long, one of many women players in the SFL. Look at that. Nice return from Nick Castle up to the 38-yard line. Denver, first time in franchise history, they have had the best scoring defense in the league. 17 points allowed in the regular season, and they really haven't allowed too much more than that here in the postseason. In fact, a little bit under.
Yeah, it looks like Seattle's doing the best imitation of Denver on defense as well. They're playing great.
Seattle's had a strong start, and right now they're winning the field position battle. 4:12 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line, and the handoff goes to Sandlin running right. Sandlin breaks a tackle and gets 9 on the play. And coming into the game, Discord presents who you got. Denver had 50.47% of the fan vote in our Discord community. And if you want to join our community, visit simulationfl.net and click the Discord icon. But there was a 2-vote difference.
That's crazy.
Mean, it's just unbelievable.
Did you see how Sandlin lowered his head on that one and hit the defender like a bull?
2nd and 1. Sandlin
That's crazy.
Could not get through Justin Jones. What a great stop from Jones. but not before Sandlin picks up a first down, and Seattle is the first team since Denver threw that pick in scoring range tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out an answer to stop Sandlin, because so far he's having his way with that defense.
3.5 to go and counting. Sandlin, 53 yards on 7 carries. He's winning the running back battle so far. 7.9 yards per carry, right around his average.
Yeah, it's 7.7, so he's going to need to step it up a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 22 for Denver. If I'm a Denver fan, I sure hope not. Luyendula's in trouble. Oh, Bonka looked like he got held.
Look at
Side
that.
up throw. The
Dangerous.
pass is tipped up and incomplete. Oh my.
Gosh.
That was a scary throw from Luyendula, who has kept it pretty turnover-free most of the playoffs. And Deontay Phillips, who's had 2 picks as a role player on this Denver defense, almost got a third of the playoffs there.
Yeah, he was. It looked like the quarterback was skipping a rock into the pond of doom. I mean, that was if they would have intercepted that, it would have been lights out all the way to the end zone.
Skipping a rock into a pond of doom. That sounds like an album cover of some heavy metal.
That was
band.
my
That
high
pass
school.
is caught for a touchdown. Touchdown, Seattle. It's JS3.
Unbelievable.
Welcome to the playoffs, junior
There you
senior
go.
the third, and he's rowing to a 6-point lead.
It's a second touchdown in the playoffs, and he's stepping up on this one. This cornerback, we thought we're going to maybe lock him down a little bit, but he's finding holes in the defense and making him pay for it.
Jones was a little bit late there, but Luyendula put that on the outside shoulder.
Great pass.
And Seattle gets the first points of the championship game. The Road Warriors, after beating Baltimore by a couple of points.
How do you like that? Huh?
Man, they have quieted this crowd. Remember Denver.
Coming into Denver.
I know. Denver's
Wow.
outscored playoff opponents 44-14 all time. And they got a goose egg with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Seattle's extra point is good, and we're going to step aside. Tyrants 7, Nightwings nothing. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Don't go anywhere. .304 to go in the first quarter. The first quarter is flying by here from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. The Tyrants have a 7-0 advantage as Longfellow kicks it away, and Battle will return from his 8-yard line. Bryce Battle past the 25 up to the 29-yard line. And Charles, October 30th is pretty special. This is the first day and month combo that we've ever had another championship game. We've had 12 different championships on 12 different days, and
Wow.
October 30th is becoming sort of a tradition for us.
It's great.
Pre-Halloween championship football. Gotta love it. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 3 receivers at the top of the screen for Miller. Miller's been pretty quiet. 2 for 3 for 18 yards. Flips it out to McChesney, and McChesney's quickly wrapped up after a gain of 9. And let's take a look at the impact players on Seattle's defense.
Denzel Maverick, defensive tackle, the Great White North.
Juke and Rukin, defensive line, Winter, South Dakota.
E.K. Vincent, linebacker, Orlando, Florida.
Angel Salinas, MLB, Fort Worth, Texas.
Iverson Gamble, cornerback, Norman, Oklahoma.
Mahmoud Ajaloni, free safety, Whitehall, Pennsylvania.
Pete Mitchell, free safety, Crossville, Alabama.
3rd down and 1 after the incompletion from Josh Miller. 3 for 5, 27 yards and a pick tonight so far for Josh. He'll hand it off to McChesney. McChesney fights his way for a first down after Martino and Vincent combined for the stop. but it'll pick up another first down for Denver with 2:22 to go. And again, we thank all of the players in the SFL, those real-life people representing their avatars here on the field tonight. We thank all of them for participating in our championship shout-outs for them. They've had a tremendous season.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wish we could do that for every game.
First and 10 at the 40, 2:03 to go in the first. Miller will fire to the outside. That pass is caught by Logan Keel, a pickup of 8. And Charles, where's Avery Allen? Not a catch or a target here in the first quarter. And
yeah, he's been quite right when you say that. They'll go deep to him and he'll get a touchdown.
You never know, but yeah, he's been very quiet here in the first quarter. Miller up to 34 yards. Luyendula, by the way, just 2 for 5 for 30 yards, but has the touchdown, the 22-yard touchdown pass to Senior the third. 2nd and 2 with splitbacks. Hand off McChesney on a trap. He is stuck in the mud, but picked up the first down on the 49-yard line, surprisingly so, because Jared had no room to run there.
Yeah, he's doing it up pretty much, once he gets into that hole, it's all power that McChesney's showing to get those first downs.
1:18 to go. A lot of Indiana getting represented tonight on the championship game. You hear that on the introductions? A lot of players from Indiana out there, and one from Duval, which the Jacksonville Kings will like, is the
nice block.
Pass out to McChesney is caught. Great block on the outside. Kane Vasquez shut it down before the first down. I'll bring up 2nd and short.
Yeah, Vasquez lowered the boom on that hit. That good open field tackle, because he was the only one standing between the running back and the touchdown.
2nd down and inches. 40 seconds to go in the first. 3-back set for Denver. The handoff goes to McChesney. McChesney's got a first down up to the 35-yard line to move the chains once more.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of conservative play calling here, and I think that's pretty smart. I mean, when you've got quality running backs like they do on both teams, what else can you do?
Should be the final play of the first quarter, unless there's an incompletion. Ball at the 35-yard line. Miller and the Nightwings down 7-0 here early. The favorites to win the whole thing, and McChesney is picked up and thrown down by Pete Mitchell, who we just mentioned as an impact player, and that ends the first quarter of play. It's the Seattle Tyrants, the 3 seed of the SFL playoffs, up by 7. Heading into the break, you're watching the SFL's 13th championship game on 11 Sports. We'll be right back.
All right, you're clear. 210. Two minutes back.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm trying to figure out throwing to Chesney more, but so far he's tracking with the averages, about 5.5 a game, and he's got 3 targets.
He's averaging 5.5 a game?
Receptions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point by Roland. There's so many players from Indiana. They get the next convention site.
Yeah, wow.
I was
That's
surprised.
A good spot.
That's a good spot. 5 of the 24 intros.
Yeah.
People saying
1
from
minute
Indiana,
back.
which was shocking to me.
We can have a 40 in the combine.
We can tour the Colts Stadium. Tour the Falcons Stadium.
45. Seconds back.
That was a fast quarter.
It was.
Didn't get to pull up the chat. Didn't get to talk about what the SFL worked, the drafts, nothing.
Right.
Like,
You doing any ads?
15. And you're back in 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're back.
Tonight's Simulation Football League Championship broadcast on 11 Sports is brought to you in part by APN Music, production music library and custom music house. By Fuel Beyond Imagination, visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL. And by Media Tech Institute, turn your passion into your profession. Central Station down there in Denver. Aerial shots brought to you by Airviews United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage.
Junior, senior, the third. Wide receiver, Kansas City, Missouri.
Start of the second quarter, and Jared McChesney will take the handoff and pick up 6. And boy, we almost lost power there a little bit from Denver. I was a little panicked.
You didn't look panicked. You look cool
great.
as a cucumber.
That's great. Hey, you never know what can go on.
Iceman here.
Man, there's a lot of people in this building, and they've been jumping around the end of the first quarter. You never want a wire to get crossed. 3rd and 6 at the 31-yard line, and this is now an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers for the Denver Nightwings. And that pass is caught by Keel. First down. Beautiful route. The perfect route combo against that zone, and Keel's got a first down to the Seattle 15-yard line.
Looks like the defender had his head turned around the wrong way when that pass came out of Miller's hands. Yeah, I was able to get a couple extra yards there.
On the tackle, Kane Vasquez and also Pete Mitchell. Mitchell's had a nice first half. Keel talking a little smack there as Martino's backed off of him on the line. 1st and 10 at the 15 for Josh Miller. And Miller has all day to throw. That pass is caught by Jones to the outside. Pickup of 8 down to the 7. This has been the best drive of the night for the Nightwings. And this has been where McChesney has made his paycheck. 6 rushing touchdowns in the postseason.
And this is Denver showing us what they normally do after they get a slug in the belly from their opponent. They just drive down the field and put up points. And this they're following that model to a T.
2nd down and 2 at the 7. 2 in the backfield. Allen's a little off the line to the right side. And the handoff goes to McChesney. McChesney got a great block. Wow. McChesney trying to get there. Almost. He will not. Down to the 1-yard line. 4.7 yards are carried from McChesney tonight, but Seattle did everything they could to keep him out of the end zone.
Denver made some adjustments, it looked like, after that last series where it looked like Rukin and Maverick were starting to get into the backfield, but so far they've kept them at bay.
2 backs, 2 receivers for Miller. I would expect this to be a McChesney handoff. Handoff, McChesney behind a lead blocker. Walks in untouched for a Denver touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't see any hole there. He just did some magic and slipped under a door. I don't know how he got into the end zone.
The Nightwings are on the board, and the fireworks are going off here in primetime in Denver. And watch him just follow the fullback.
That's great. Not a big hole at all.
Steve Aoki making that happen. And how about this stat? In the second quarter of SFL championship games, 9 of the 12 championship game winners have outscored their opponents in the second quarter. Only Minneapolis, Queen City, and Tallahassee in seasons 7, 8, and 11 won the game despite losing the second quarter. And here we are with 9:08 to go. Denver gets the first points of the second quarter, and we're all tied up at 7.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for a better game.
So if you're new to the SFL and wondering how does this work, what am I watching, teams have coaching staffs that break down film, and boy did they this week, I can only imagine. In order to build a game plan that will be effective against their opponents, users can improve their player each week, get career stats tracked, customize their look, plus get their name on national television. And every once in a while, your photo, and every once in a while, your voice. And they are all in the chat right now. And we say hello to our chat room for the first time tonight. Chat shout-outs to Nick Castle, Zero Rising, Neon Killer, Old School, AJ Today Jackson, Dave Axis, John Perez, Rizbit, Nick, BJ Armstrong 38, Minson Mind, Mike Importa, Ghibli Doo, NASCAR Lover, Ethan Kai, Frostbite, C. Roland 84, Ban the Pop-Tart, Chris, Coach Craven, everybody's in there tonight, and more as Lou Yandula's pass is incomplete. Looking for Mason Kirby. That's a name we haven't said tonight either. Quiet Kirby.
He's been very quiet.
First target of the night for Kirby.
And that was a dangerous pass. I mean, that could have gone the other way pretty easily.
I'm really surprised some of the players that we, know and love in these passing games have been very quiet. Allen and Kirby with goose eggs in the first half. Sandlin and McChesney have been doing their thing, but
the tight ends have been quiet too.
Yeah. Carr's only got one grab for 8 yards over the middle earlier tonight. One receiver either side with Sandlin in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Sandlin. Sandlin is stuffed. Mike Sawchuk makes the play along with Bailey Baca, and Sawchuk has been tremendous in the pass deflection category, but you also dug deep into the record books before the game, Charles, and found what?
He actually has the record for the most tackles in a championship game. He had, I believe it was 15 last season against Alaska.
That's incredible as that pass is knocked away. And right on cue was Sawchuk. Lugandula wanting a penalty, but Seattle's going to go 3 and out. And Mike Sawchuk has a brilliant defensive series. And the Tyrants will have to punt it away, and the pendulum is starting to swing to Denver.
Yeah, Sawchuk is everywhere. He's all over the field. You think he's on one side, and then they throw the ball over there, and he's right there to bat it away. Incredible. Got great closing speed.
8:36 to go in the first half, and the Nightwings starting to turn things around after a slow start. Low snap at the feet of Geronimo Coffins, and from the 43-yard line, Battle gets smacked down by Matt Pugsley, and that will set up Josh Miller in pretty decent field position. Denver has won lots of different ways. Just over the last 4 games, they've had an interception on their final 3 drives. They've outscored Houston 21-0 in the second quarter. They've held one of the best running backs in the league to just 67 yards. McChesney's had almost 250. Miller's completed 89% of his passes. I mean, these wins are all coming in different ways for Denver down the stretch as that pass is caught by Keel. How did Keel make that play over the head and helmet of Angel Salinas near a first down?
Another tight pass in there by Miller. I mean, he got it right in there. Didn't have a lot of room for error on that pass, but it was a great catch as well by Keel.
Mom Miles, we also see you in the chat. 2nd and inches at the 43-yard line. 108 of you on Twitch right now. If you want to join that conversation, twitch.tv/11sportsnext as that pass is caught by Jones for a first down at the 36-yard line. Giacomo Jones, active early and often. He's been running out routes for days, and both Jones and Keel have 3 receptions in the first half.
And Miller is getting perfect protection back there. As I stated before, they made the adjustments to keep Maverick and Rukin out of his face, and he's got all the time in the world, and that doesn't bode well for the secondary of Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle has not had an answer for that play-action out route, and neither did Tallahassee, and neither did Houston. Denver says, well, if you're going to keep giving it to us, we're going to keep taking it. As that run to McChesney. Oh, McChesney dropped the ball, and Kane Vasquez recovers. The second turnover of the first half for Denver. McChesney put it on the ground.
That's what we said they needed to do on defense, and wow, that was great. Just at the right time. It looked like the momentum was turning towards Denver, and Vasquez goes in there and makes a great defensive play.
Angel Salinas making a tremendous play, and boy, Seattle's defense has really stepped it up in the first half. And that sends the chat into a frenzy off the McChesney fumble. I believe that's only his 2nd fumble of the season.
He doesn't fumble often.
Now 2 receivers, one to either side. Kirby's the intended receiver. He got bumped, and no call. Might have been inside 5 yards, but boy, I tell you what, B.J. Armstrong's winning that battle tonight.
Yeah, they're not. It looks like all their pass routes are in the middle. I haven't seen much on the sides at all tonight.
2nd and 10 at the 30. Almost kind of polar opposite of Denver's strategy here tonight. 3 in the backfield with Sandlin at the back of it, and Sandlin will take the handoff behind those blockers. Only pick up a few. Sandlin's got 55 yards, slightly winning that battle, but Jared McChesney getting yet another touchdown. 7 now this postseason.
Yeah, it looks like the yards per carry for Sandlin's going down a little bit, but you know what? It was up at 7 point something, so it was ungodly.
3rd and 7 at the 33. Luyendula out of the empty. As time got hit. Oh, what a catch by Quiet Kirby. Welcome to the game. He's done it again,
Holy
folks.
Mackerel. One-handed is right.
That is a top 10 play. Look at that with Baca in the I don't know.
That's the play of the night.
How did he even fit that in that window there?
Wow.
The outstretched arm of Lee Adama nearly knocked the football away, and Seattle's got a first down on the Denver 47-yard line.
Yeah, you don't see that very often in the middle because normally you get lit up when you stretch out like that.
3 receivers, 2 in the backfield. Luyendula straight back, fires it out. Sandlin, can he keep the feet in? Yes, he can. Oh, Sandlin buried 6 feet under on the Seattle sideline after a gain of 7 out to the Nightwing 40. Warner on the tackle.
Yeah, they had they had 2 guys there to stop him, and that's what you need to do. I mean, I don't think we would have the same result if it was just one-on-one trying to stop Sandlin.
Mason Kirby in the chat says the GOAT strikes again. Can you call yourself the GOAT? We'll have to ask LeBron James. 2nd and 3 at the 40. 6:28 to go in the first half. 3 receivers, 2 to the left. Split backs with a nickel look out of Denver's defense. In trouble. Luyendula escapes the sack. Oh! And then Bandito caught him from behind. And Luyendula ended up almost throwing that ball into the wrong end zone. He got turned around so bad.
Wow. The Bandit broke in there and shut it down. What a great defensive play.
3rd and 8 now at the 45. And these 2 teams, which did not generate a ton of sacks in the first 2 weeks of the playoffs, are getting after the quarterbacks tonight. 3rd and 8 straight back. Luyendula on a slant. Did he get the first down? No. Ruled short.
That was close.
Pass is caught by Nick Castle. And if I was Seattle, I might think about challenging it. Although when you got Zach Sandlin, you might as well put him out there and go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's an easy first down, but it's close when you have a train like that in the backfield.
Sandlin's off to the right. Seattle, I mean, you got to go for this, right? Oh, offside. Offside, Denver. And
they stopped him.
Sandlin wasn't in the game. That was the fullback, Ripper Concordia, that had checked in, and still Denver fell for it.
That stings.
And the Nightwings have now made 3 critical mistakes in the first half in a tie ball game. That offside on Bodie Jenkins.
Yeah, that stings. They had the running back dead to rights in the backfield, and to make a mistake like that it hurts.
Wow. So with 5:06 to go in the first half, the Seattle drive will continue. After Denver got a little happy in the backfield. Sandlin takes the handoff. Sandlin breaks a tackle. You know that's Zach Sandlin.
Wow.
Down the sideline, he ran out of room to the 14. He's got 73 yards on 10 carries.
I was listening for the train whistle on that one. He picked up some steam and just was barreling through the defenders.
Running Sandlin a lot outside.
Isn't he fun to watch?
Didn't even need a block.
Wow.
Got one at the end, but it was too little too late as he had no choice but to step out of bounds. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line, 4:52 to go in the first half. We are tied at 7 in the SFL championship game. Both of these teams, these franchises have been here once before, but neither have won an SFL championship, and someone is going to win their first tonight. Handoff to Sandlin, and
Nice
Bandito and Baca again making the combo tackle in the backfield, a loss of 1.
Let's see if they can don't break on this possession.
Man, what a game.
Yeah,
this is
great
just been
game.
wall-to-wall action, and for all the few mistakes that Denver has made have really been the difference in the ball game. Unless Seattle makes one here 15 yards away from the end zone. Sandlin gets through Baca. But I tell you what, Denver's doing a pretty nice job wrapping him up between the tackles. It's when he's gotten outside that they've struggled with him a little bit more.
You know, he gets up a little head of steam, and that's when he gets the yard per carry up. But up the middle, they've been able to have an answer for him.
3rd and 8 at the 13-yard line. Certainly within Longfellow's range. Be a chip shot 30. 3 receivers, 1 in the slot to the right of Luyendula. Again in the nickel look for Denver's defense. That pass is incomplete. Over the middle of the field, knocked away by Nicholas Warner. And that'll bring up a 4th down and the first field goal attempt of the night.
Yeah, I would say that pass wasn't like we were used to seeing Luyendula throw in the previous games. Not quite as accurate as we're used to.
He's only 5 of 11 for 64 yards, 5 of 12 now for 64 yards in the first half. Miller's been far more efficient, 9 for 11, but one of those incompletions went down as an interception. Either way, both quarterbacks struggling a little bit in the first half. This a 29-yard field goal from Chip Longfellow, and that field goal is up and good. Seattle regains the lead. Denver looking for their first lead of the night when we come back. It'll be Josh Miller and company with the football. You're watching the SFL's 13th championship game on 11 Sports. Back in a moment.
You're clear. 30 seconds.
Welcome back to Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium in Denver. Seattle 10, Denver 7, the 12-2 Tyrants against the 13-1 Denver Nightwings for the SFL championship game. 3:38 to go in the first half. This is a short kick fielded from the 10-yard line. Great blocks, but Bryce Battle is brought down at the 30. And for the first time tonight, we welcome you into our broadcast studio. Charles Doherty is there to my left, and I'm right under that championship game logo. Welcome in. It's been a fun game tonight, Charles.
Great. Wow. Crazy excitement.
What do you see out of the last 3:34? What would you like to see Denver do here?
I'd like to see Denver do something to get the fans excited. I mean, I'm waiting to see a real big play.
Josh Miller, first down, and fires it over. Oh, what nice play by Logan Keel.
Wow.
Showing off the dance moves. Got to get me a lesson with that guy. 39 yards on 4 catches for Keel. Picks up 6.
Big play on first down. I don't recall any team really starting out deep in their own territory. I think both teams have had pretty good starting positions.
Yeah, that one time for Denver, they started around their 14-yard line. That was about it.
Yeah.
You know, we really haven't seen anybody pinned down deep. It's been definitely a field position battle for much of the first half. And the handoff goes to McChesney. He's got some room. 50. McChesney breaks a tackle. He's got to get past one. They're trying to chase him from behind. And Jared McChesney will score. And Denver has taken their first lead of the night in the second quarter.
That was a fabulous run. I mean, he had a decent block up front, got through the line, but then when he went to that second level, he just threw the defender down. It's surprising how, I mean, you don't think McChesney is as strong as he is until you see that a run like that.
That's the first time McChesney's really been able to get to the second level tonight, and both of these running backs are dangerous when they've only got one man to beat. And you get another look at it. Nice block by Allen. He's been quiet in the passing game tonight, but he sprung that play.
Now the fans are in the stadium are into the game.
And Seattle's got them right where they want them.
Yep.
the way that they've played in the postseason.
Going according to plan.
Kramer Jackman will come on to attempt the field goal. He's got 65, 66, 67 field goals and counting on his career. It has just been a tremendous pickup for Denver. And as you heard from the Impact Players segment earlier in the game from Kansas City, Missouri, as that extra point is up and good for the Nightwings, 14-10 on top of Seattle. And how can you get involved? Well, you certainly can't get involved with a graphic that can't fit, but you can get involved by visiting simulationfl.net on our Discord and joining our Discord from the Discord icon and getting involved in the community. The draft is December 14th, so right around the corner.
A lot of people a lot of rookies out there getting excited about that.
2:51 to go in the first half, and a knee is taken by Nick Castle. And
Dave Axis in chat asked you if you're wearing a golf jacket. I don't know how he got
wearing a golf jacket.
You're wearing official gear.
I'm wearing official Sector 6 merchandise, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. Don't want to make sure we don't want to block the play there to the left of your screen. 3 in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Sandlin. Sandlin trying to do his best. McChesney impression and picks up 8. And if you want official SFL gear, you can head to sector6apparel.com. Request items for purchase to your team's store today. And we're going to have a lot of new stuff heading into the draft. And if you're wondering, yes, championship T-shirts will be available for the winner.
Very nice.
Right after the game, working with Sector 6. They've been a great partner. Can't wait to show you that design as Sandlin is not going to get the first down. No gain. Zach Sandlin, 85 yards on 13 carries. And Denver has done a pretty good job on Sandlin historically anyway. The last couple of times these teams have played, they've shut them down pretty good. We'll talk more about that when we come back from the 2-minute warning. Seattle's got a critical 3rd and 2 coming up. They are just 1 for 6 on 3rd downs tonight. We'll see if they can convert this next one. You're watching the SFL Championship game on 11 Sports. Two minutes to go in the first half. 3rd down and 2 at the 28-yard line, and they're going to throw for it, and Sandlin's got it. First down to the 33.
Yeah, that was a rare pass to Sandlin, and he capitalized on 3rd down. We said at the start, they get both running backs on Denver and Seattle. They can catch the ball too, but they're known mostly for pounding the rock.
So 1:40 left. We know Seattle can score quickly, given the last couple of weeks. Kirby, who's their downfield target, 20 yards on that one-handed, beautiful catch. And Senior the third has not caught a pass since that touchdown midway through the first quarter. Deep drop back for Lugandula. He's got nobody open, and he is sacked for an 11-yard loss. That sack made by Nick Miller, an impact player on this Denver defense, drops him for 11.
Great play there, Nick Miller. 6'6", 290. Wow, signed in week 11. That's got to be a nightmare for Lugandula seeing that monster running after you in the backfield.
Now empty, and this spells trouble down the field. Oh, it's knocked up in the air. Where's the football?
Wow.
It is still loose and incomplete.
I've
it's
seen that once before, and I think it was on the highlight reel. Wow. Deja vu.
Only seen that once before. That was the number 5 play of the season.
They could hit a seagull. We're going to see a seagull hit the deck.
Seagull in Denver?
I don't know.
It's
crazy things, right?
Yeah, it hit a seagull in California. We don't know how gravity works. 3rd and 21 at the 22-yard line, and Seattle's in trouble. They have lost momentum in this second quarter, getting outscored 14-3. As Lugandula on a 3rd down and 21 has all day to throw deep down the field. Oh, it's almost intercepted. Looking for Castle deep down the field, and Josh Vasquez makes the play. And Seattle's offense has really struggled in the second quarter compared to the first.
It looked like Castle had a couple steps on the defender. If there was a little more loft onto that pass, I think Lugandula would have hit him in stride, and he would have been gone.
Ghibli Deuce said it best in the chat. It's because of that thin air, that altitude in Denver, making the football do some crazy things. But Seattle lucky to not get intercepted on that drive, as the fair catch is called for at the 40-yard line. So Denver can make something out of this. Remember, the Nightwings will get the ball to start the second half. If they do something in the next 40 seconds and then get the ball to start the third quarter, could be a real nightmare scenario for the Tyrants.
That's a big hole to dig out of.
Just a little bit of a reset here. Seattle got the first points of the game on a touchdown to Junior Senior the third. Then McChesney got touchdown number 7 of the postseason inside the 5-yard line. Then Seattle kicked a field goal to go up 10-7, and McChesney erupted for yet another touchdown as Aoki drops that ball over the middle of the field. He had a nice game against Tallahassee last week, but starts off with the dropsies tonight.
Doing that play action with the fullback up, in the middle. He's been wide open on that pass, and it's a rare drop for him.
Denver is they've got to feel great about the mistakes that they've made, the fumble, the interception, the
Right,
penalty
yep.
on 4th down, and they're up by 4. I mean, they couldn't have played too much worse in the first half as Miller fires it near side out of bounds, looking for Keel. Keel doesn't run that route usually, and I think he might have had some inexperience there with Miller on that play.
It doesn't look like either offense has been particularly sharp on the pass side. I mean, I think the running they're spot on, but it looks like the passing hasn't been quite as accurate and the routes as crisp as we've seen in prior playoff games.
Empty, 5 wide. Seattle's had some trouble protecting Luyendula in a similar formation. Let's see how the Denver offensive line does against Rukin and Maverick here. Pretty good job, one-on-one coverage, but even a
Great
better
coverage.
play down the field made by number 39, Iverson Gamble, all over Giacomo Jones, and that drive lasted just 11 seconds, and Denver will have to punt.
That was great defense there. I mean, Seattle has shown that they can stop the drive when they need to. So they need to get that ball back, and they've scored with less seconds on the clock.
Yeah, they've scored with 2 seconds on the clock. Yeah, watch out for Kirby here. They haven't tried to throw to Kirby deep middle except for that one time
Right.
where he caught it with one hand, but he had to make a miraculous catch, and Luyendula had to make a miraculous throw to make the play. Jacques just 6 of 15 in the first half. Really surprising.
Let's see if they try and go to the house here.
Well, championship history, you see the most recent games. Alaska just won in a thriller. We almost had our second consecutive snow championship game, but they cleared the snow and it cleared out of there. But Alaska's dynasty, at least for the moment, on pause after winning the last 3, and Mexico City was the last non-Alaska team to win a title. 1st and 10 at the 25. Luyendula will fire it outside. Caught by Senior the third. Gets out of bounds quickly with 17 seconds left. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, plenty of time. Just don't need to force the ball here and get a turnover back to Denver.
Nightwings get the ball to receive the second half. If you missed the note from earlier. There's a look at Justin Jones. Came over from the San Francisco Sharks in the offseason. Boy, I bet he's glad he made that decision, now playing for his first championship. Handoff Sandlin, running behind a couple of blockers, and that
was interesting.
That 3-back set has really not worked out too well for
It was
Seattle.
surprising. When I first saw it, I thought, wow, look out. Here we go.
And now they're going to try to run him off tackle. Time is running out in the half, and I think what Seattle was trying to do there, because the passing game has been struggling, was they were just trying to see if Sandlin could get out in the open field and break something, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's amazing, like you said, that they're not more effective in that with that particular play.
The running back comparison, 2 of the best running backs in the league. Sandlin, 91 yards on 16 carries. McChesney, 111 yards on 12 carries and has scored twice. 8 touchdowns in 3 postseason games for McChesney, including that 63-yarder he had earlier. And he also has 28 yards on 3 grabs, which is a little bit over the average for him. 2nd and 6, 2 seconds left. We've seen this before. Luyendula is in trouble. Luyendula, there's no way he's getting that off. Denver's pressure on Luyendula here in the first half has been a difference maker. That's the 2nd sack of the game for Nick Miller, and they may have given him a combo there with a couple of his teammates, but that is the end of the first half of play, and what a first half it was. Denver takes the lead into the break and will get the ball to start the second half. They outscore Seattle 14-3 in that critical second quarter. Your first half stats? Pretty even. Surprising that Denver's winning the game given those statistics.
Yeah, it's amazing we're saying that Denver's doing a good job of stopping Sandlin when he's racked up 91 yards. I mean, that tells you how good he is. I'm also surprised that I'm actually I'm excited that they're using the running backs as much as they are. And as we said earlier, I don't think that the passing game for either team is as crisp as we've seen it in the playoffs.
Swole 2011 said it best in the chat. Second half adjustments incoming. And if you were both of these teams, what would you do about the passing game? Both teams under 100 yards passing in that first half. You don't often see that in any SFL game. What adjustments do you see out of the third quarter break?
I'd just add some more short passes to maybe build up some confidence and some momentum for the quarterback to get a little more comfortable with that deep throw.
Pete Samaha in the chat says, needs some play action. Nacho says, is Cam going to sing for us for the halftime show? What kind of program do you think this is? No, definitely not. They just saw that fumble by McChesney. It's such a rare sight to see. And who knows, Seattle might regret having to kick that field goal down in the red zone. Field goals might not win you this game when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think their field goals are going to win at all.
This is the biggest play of the night, as missing on the tackle was Pugsley coming over from the slot. And, man, McChesney versus Pugsley, no chance.
That was a great run. I think that play right there and that one-handed catch by Kirby are the two best plays of the game on offense.
Gerald Smith, Rochelle Colston holding it down on stats. How about some defensive stats from that first half? Your leading tackler in the game, Adam Wiseman, 5 solo tackles, a tremendous half for Wiseman. Couple of sacks for Nick Miller. Denver had 3 total. Seattle had 2 as well. And Nicholas Warner also with 5 tackles. Again, thanks to our phenomenal stat takers holding it down here in the championship game, as that ball will float to the 10-yard line. And Battle will pick it up and run down the sideline all the way to the 44. What on earth was the coverage of that kickoff return? The ball went right, and Battle literally ran in a straight line and got all those yards.
Yeah, that was poor execution on the special teams there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No gap integrity whatsoever.
And here's Denver with great field position. That's definitely not something Seattle wants.
So the Nightwings get it going. Miller was 9 for 11. He finished the second half, or the first half rather, 1 for 4 passing. So Seattle started to clamp down. Hill dropped a throw to start the second half. Flip out to McChesney. It's well covered, and McChesney's shoved out of bounds after a 3-yard gain. There's the updated quarterback numbers.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort in that 3 yards. He must have hit 10 defenders.
Yeah, he did. And Seattle really closed that up pretty quick. 4th catch of the night for McChesney on 31 yards. Leading tackler, by the way, for Seattle is Vasquez with 4. E.K. Vincent also has 3. 10:40 to go in the third quarter. 4 receivers, 3 to the top of the screen, and somewhat man coverage, it would appear. Miller going play action. He dumps it short of the middle. Aoki dropped it again. That is the second drop of the fullback tonight, and in the clutch moments, Steve Aoki not able to deliver on that little play action play.
Yeah, they may want to look at other options.
So how can you get involved in the Simulation FL? Visit simulationfl.net today and join our Discord community. You can start banking progression each week to build draft value for your player. Compete with hundreds of others to be the SFL's next big superstar, and the top 20 picks will be announced live on the rookie draft Saturday, December 14th, as Jones makes the catch for the first down at the 43-yard line, and they continue to find Jones open, his 4th grab.
Yeah, that was a great execution, both from the play action for Miller to the route that was run by the wide receiver. I mean, that was perfect, spot-on play.
So Seattle, when they're able to force that ball away from Jones, Miller's thrown to Aoki twice, and it's nearly been an interception both times. So Seattle could use some more takeaways on that play. That ball is thrown dangerously over the middle. Cain Vasquez, it actually hit him in the neck. And that's another incompletion for Miller. Again, he was 9 for 11. He's now 3 for 7 since.
Yeah, he floated that ball in the middle. It was like he's throwing socks in the hamper. I mean, it was way up in the air.
Throwing socks in the hamper. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Anybody out there procrastinating laundry right now, procrastinate for another hour, and then you can get it done. 2 in the backfield, two receivers. 2nd and 10 for Denver. Handoff to McChesney, and McChesney will get a healthy 6 yards before Rukin tackled him from behind. We saw a highlight, the top 10 plays of the year earlier in the ball game when Rukin showing some pretty good speed trying to chase down Hollywood.
There needed to be a sound effect with that one.
Didn't get to him, though.
Yep.
I think the sound effect.
Like a rumbling sound or something.
3rd and 4. at the 38-yard line. 9:40 to go. Denver is 4 for 6 on third down tonight. They've been tough to get off the field. 64% in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Back to pass. Miller fires over the middle of the field. Caught first down to the 15-yard line. First big play in a long time. Keel gets up and shoves Mahmoud Ajlani, who's been quiet this evening. And Logan Keel has been the best receiver on the field tonight.
Yeah, he should be pumped up. Look at this catch. He had to stretch out there and get it past the defender.
Wow, great shot from our 2K crew. And I can understand why he sort of got on Ajlani's case, as Ajlani sort of landed on him awkwardly. But Denver's got a red zone opportunity here at the Seattle 15, and the Tyrants have to feel a little bit uneasy. They only have 3 points since the end of the first quarter. Miller fires it outside. Pass caught by Keel again. That's his 6th grab on 10 targets, and Avery Allen still has no targets tonight in the ballgame.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I think that was an adjustment, done on purpose.
Yep, definitely.
I think Seattle probably preparing for Avery Allen to be a big part of the offense. Denver said, nope, we're going to go in a different direction, get Logan Keel a little bit more involved. The franchise's all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards,
match.
and receiving touchdowns. 2nd and 5 at the 10. Miller going to throw. Miller fires it, bottom of the screen. Keel wide open for a touchdown. Terrible angle taken by Ajlani. Keel is owning Mahmoud Ajlani here in the third quarter, and Denver's got a touchdown, the first through the air of the night.
Yeah, look again. It looked like the defender went the wrong way on that one, but it started with great pocket for Miller. I mean, if he has that amount of time, he's gonna make you pay, and he did on that play.
8:32 to go in the third quarter, and this is the largest lead for either team tonight. Kramer Jackman on to attempt the extra point. And Seattle, they've certainly come back plenty of times before, but this is a whole nother animal. Oh, wow. What an effort to try to block that extra point. But the effort comes up with a bunch of air. 8:32 to go in the third quarter. It's now Denver by 11. You're watching the SFL's 13th championship game on 11 Sports, and we'll be right back. .32 to go in the third quarter. The Nightwings have their largest lead of the night at 11, looking for their first championship. Seattle also looking for their franchise's first championship. This is 5 yards deep in the end zone, returned by Castle, and he outran 2 of his blockers and only got to the 21-yard line. Championship MVPs all time, only 2 have won it twice. No defensive player has ever won MVP. Ron Cochran and Jake Legacy, the only 2 players, 2-time championship MVPs. Who would be your MVP right now?
So far would be McChesney.
McChesney with a couple of touchdowns.
Yep.
117 yards on 13 carries. Keel is right on his heels. 7 receptions, 77 yards and a score. Luyendula's pass nearly intercepted. Oh, man. Tristan Carr had to play defense on that play, as it looked like it was a Sawchuck there again.
Not sure why he got up and danced. I mean, I was expecting a different
really?
reaction. He got up and did a little wiggle.
I wish we could get a replay of that. And actually, that was number 52, Adam Wiseman, who led Denver with 5 tackles in the first half, making that breakup. 2nd down at the 21. 8:24 left in the third quarter. Seattle's got to get something going here. Denver shifts the line to the strong side. Linebackers showing blitz. They're coming with it. Sandlin runs past it. But Sandlin just can't get out of there. Only picks up 6.
See, the difference between the Denver defense and the Seattle defense is when, McChesney gets to that second level, there's no one there to stop him. But on the Denver side, then they swarm. They don't. If they don't get him on the first stop, there's 3 or 4 guys hustling in there to try and stop him.
3rd and 4 at the 27. The handoff goes to McChesney, and he didn't get it. Sandlin looks, forgive me, Zach Sandlin with the carry. Sandlin looks slow. He looks like
maybe
he might be a little banged up.
Yeah, banged up, yep.
Just not looking the same. Seattle's going 3 and out. They're just going to punt the football away. Not even a challenge. And the Tyrants just look flat here in the second half.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, that's with each possession Denver gets. I mean, they're the type of team that they just keep putting points up on the board. They've been stopped a couple times, but man, it's getting to. I think the sweat pumps need to be fired up on Seattle right now.
And I think this is just. This is Denver's MO. This is what they've done. In the playoffs, is they just 34-14, 34-20. There's nothing really flashy about those scores. They just wear teams down until they've had enough.
And they're also kind of like chameleons. They adjust to, they take what they can. If it's not working in one area, Denver adjusts and they capitalize in another area.
1st and 10 at the 35. 2 backs and 2 receivers for Miller. Miller fires middle of the field, and it's dropped by Keel. Maybe Martino got a hand in there, and actually that's what they're going to say. They're going to credit Martino with a pass deflection.
Yeah, it looked like he snuck it in there at the last second, was able to break that up.
2nd down at the 35. 7:15 left in the third. Still plenty of time, but the Tyrants just have had no forward momentum really since the fumble from McChesney. 3 receivers for Miller. He's 15 of 23 for 141 yards. Handoff McChesney. McChesney running right into the defense.
Good stop.
And great job extending the play by Pete Mitchell, but eventually Iverson Gamble able to make the tackle. Will bring up 3rd down and 9, and that's the most difficult 3rd down of the night for Denver so far. They're 5 for 7.
Yeah, and I think from an odd standpoint, it may take McChesney out of the play here, which I think Seattle wants.
3rd and 9 at the 36. Empty backfield, 3-2 look. They rush just 4. Miller's pass. Oh, what a play by Martino. He steps up once again. If he doesn't make that play, Keel is gone for a touchdown, and you can start to maybe pack things up. What a fantastic play.
That was one of the best defensive plays of the day.
Man, full extension.
It was
reached
crazy.
around.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely tremendous. That's what dreams are made of there, as Lily Long will have to punt it away for Denver. And after a quick 3 and out for Seattle, their defense comes up with a response.
Big stop. Yeah, they needed it. Now the offense needs to get in gear and put some points on the board.
From the 28-yard line, decent return, and then a ridiculous hit by Skeeter Baja playing special teams. Seattle has been an exciting team. They are the first team in league history to win 2 playoff games in the final minute. Beat Alaska with a Mason Kirby touchdown. Beat Baltimore with a Chip Longfellow field goal. Fighting extinction, as they might say. 1st and 10 at the 34. 4 receivers for Luyendula. He has struggled tonight, and that pass is intercepted. Where was he throwing that ball?
Crazy.
Justin Jones makes the play, and Denver's got a 1st down, and this has been an ugly 3rd quarter for Seattle.
Yeah, he had looked like he had Sandlin open there on a screen pass as well. That was a dangerous pass.
That was awful. Worst pass of the night. Not even close. That's only the 2nd interception of the season of the postseason for Luyendula. He has a QBR. Remember, coming into the night, 119 QBR. It's a QBR of 48 against this Nightwings defense. He's 7 of 18 for 78 yards. That has really been the difference. Sandlin and McChesney pretty neck and neck. Trips off the left side for Miller. Miller will fire it outside, and again, backing off.
Wow.
Backing off and getting thrown away was Martino, and Avery Allen's got his first catch. And, wow, Denver is showing up here in the second half.
Yeah, Allen just caught that ball and trucked. A lot of power there. That's a hard man to bring down. I think Seattle's going to need to find some magic here on defense. Like we talked about at the start of the game, they're going to have to find some turnovers to capitalize on.
Seattle's defense has been on the field almost this entire second half. McChesney got a first down at the 16-yard line. Somebody got to make a play here.
Man, he's
as
running great.
Mitchell prevents the touchdown.
It's just amazing watching him run. It's he's so successful even with a really that was a bigger hole than I expected from that angle. It looked a lot bigger, but he's taken that when he sees the gap, he goes right in there, and he's hard to bring down and with surprising strength.
6 minutes left. Keel is at the top of the screen, as is Jones. Back off that trips formation. McChesney with 6 in the box will go outside. Pass goes inside, and that's caught for 7 yards. Denver started as an expansion team. The San Antonio Vaqueros in Season 9. The team was sold to Jeremy Vega, who moved the team in Denver to Season 11. First 3 seasons, 1 playoff appearance, no wins. Last 2 seasons, back-to-back championship games. Denver certainly has turned things around under new leadership. 2nd and 3 at the 9. Miller to throw. Miller going in zone, tipped and intercepted. Intercepted. What a huge play. Iverson Gamble off the deflection.
I think Gamble put his knee down and he got rocked when he stood back up.
I didn't think this was going to be able to be caught. Pass intended for Jones. Yeah, it just kind of dropped.
He got plowed after.
Dropped right into Gamble's lap.
Oh, here we go, Seattle. Here we go.
Makes the play. They're still alive. We're back to Denver in a moment. You're watching the SFL championship game. .5:12 to go in the third quarter. Off the interception, Seattle's got to do something with this. Third turnover of the night for Denver. Luyendula straight back, fires it outside to Sandlin. He's got one blocker, and Sandlin is hit by Jones. Justin Jones has been phenomenal in the open field against Zach Sandlin, and I don't know if Sandlin is I don't know what he's dealing with, but since the second quarter, or since the end of the first quarter, I should say, this has not been his night.
I know what he's dealing with. He's dealing with the hit that Justin just gave him.
2nd and 7 at the 23. Hand off to Sandlin up the middle. And Mike Sawchuk puts him down.
Wow.
Only a gain of a couple. Everything is a challenge for Seattle's offense tonight that has been scoring ridiculous amount of points.
Yeah, I think Jones and Sawchuk have a competition to see who can lay out the guy on offense better.
Shotgun for Luyendula on 3rd down and 5. Man, if they go 3 and out here. 4:13 to go in the third. Luyendula in trouble. Hit as he threw and ended up throwing it in the back of a lineman. That's Bailey Baca with the pressure. And Seattle, another 3 and out. And they'll have to punt.
What a great defense. I mean, just when you thought momentum was turning to Seattle, the Denver defense just snuffed it out.
Look at Sandlin in the playoffs. I mean, 7.7 yards a carry tonight. He's 5.4. That doesn't sound like much, but considering he's had 19 carries, I mean, that's 40 yards that Seattle's used to having that they just haven't gotten tonight, as Denver will return it from the 38 and get out to the 40. But it's all on the defense for Seattle. Their offense has not gotten a single first down in the third quarter. Remarkable defense by the Nightwings tonight.
That's incredible. I mean, they've held Sandlin to 0 touchdowns as well. I mean, that's quite a feat. I mean, you know he's going to get 100. It's hard to keep him from getting 100, but keeping him out of the end zone, that's amazing.
Seattle has been magical in the fourth quarter down the stretch, but they got to be in the game for them to create some more magic in tonight's fourth quarter. Oh, Giacomo Jones wide open. What a clever play design. He just sort of skinnied right out of the slot and ran a short route. Let's get another look at this.
Wide open in the middle there. Nice little sidestep.
Salinas didn't know who to cover.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say I'm surprised that Denver's not running it more, but they've shown that they're becoming pretty effective there on that short to middle pass.
Yeah, 26 passes, 15 runs tonight for Denver. Play action over the middle. Aoki dropped it again.
He did it again.
3 drops for Aoki tonight, and if I didn't know any better, I'd say some Seattle player got into his locker room and
definitely
slipped him a few hundreds or something, because he is playing horrendous.
I agreed to that without even hearing the whole thing.
3.5 left, putting Denver in a more precarious second down, but the way they've been playing tonight, we'll see if Seattle's defense can get off the field. 6 in the box for the Tyrants in a 3-3 look, as Miller will drop the throw. Fire quickly to Jones. Open. He was wide open. Giacomo Jones. 15, 10, 5 touchdown.
Man.
What a read from Josh Miller. It has been all Denver since the start of the second quarter.
He was crazy open on that pass. Unbelievable. And the smart football IQ of Miller to see that right on the line and get the ball out just in time. It looked like the pocket was starting to collapse on him. Great play by Miller. Great play by Jones.
As Lonnie was trying to come over, and that was such a smart play by Jones, because if he waits for Jones to continue running that route down the field, Lonnie probably makes a play on it. But Miller, right away, saw the opportunity and capitalized on it. That was an unbelievable throw, and Seattle now is really in some trouble.
Yeah, they have. They're deep in the hole. They have to start doing something, and it looks like when you get behind that much, they're taking their number one player out of the offense in Sandlin.
The extra point is up and good, 28-10, with 3:29 to go in the third. Seattle, their offense, got to have a heart-to-heart. They don't have a first down in the third quarter. Wake up, Tyrants. This is the SFL championship game. .329 to go in the third quarter. The Nightwings, once down 10-7, now leads 28-10 here on championship night in the SFL. From the goal line, Castle on the return, and Castle can't get much of anything there. Alongside it, Charles Doherty and Gerald Smith, Rochelle Colston on stats. I'm Cameron Irvine, our fully staffed production crew here tonight, and we've enjoyed really a beatdown in the third quarter by the Denver Nightwings, imposing their will just as they've done with every other opponent over the last 3 months.
Yeah, definitely a beatdown. But Seattle has shown an ability to score quick, and let's see if they can bring that out now.
Sandlin's got a block. Sandlin to the outside again. He just looks a little slower than he's been in the past. And getting tackled. He's got 5.6 yards a carry. There's just something off tonight.
And that was Sawchuk that ran him down on that one. Look at that closing speed.
Nice job, Sawchuk. And we're probably not giving him enough credit. That's great progression skills right there. And that's a player that's been here all season long and done his job.
Definitely. Yeah, he's been a star on that defense in the playoffs.
1st and 10 at the 36, under 3 to go in the third quarter. Sandlin going to take another handoff. They are afraid to throw the football down the field. When was the last time? Probably the one-handed catch by Kirby was the last time we saw a throw of over 10 yards.
That's right.
Kirby doesn't have a catch since.
And they've been throwing in the middle so much, which is blowing my mind.
2nd and 9. They got to get Luyendula some confidence. 8 for 20. They're going to hand it off to Sandlin again. And Sandlin, he's just not able to break through tonight. And it brings up another 3rd and 6. Pressures on Luyendula. They are just 2 for 10 on 3rd down tonight. 50% ball club coming in.
They gotta convert on this 3rd down.
Here we go. 2:10 to go. 3rd and 6. Empty backfield for Luyendula and the Tyrants. Look at everybody up on the line. Denver applying some pressure. Luyendula to throw. Over the middle.
Nice.
Caught. First down.
Nice
Carr
play.
beat his man to the Denver 48-yard line. Boy, do they need that from Tristan Carr. His second catch and first in the last hour or so.
Yeah, that's what they need. I mean, he shows he's very reliable when you throw the ball to him. And again, I'm amazed that they haven't tried to target him more often, and maybe that's just a credit to the Denver defense.
1:45 left in the third quarter. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Luyendula against what appears to be a dime look from Denver. Might be a nickel in disguise. Luyendula again over the middle. Caught by Kirby. First down to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 17 yards. And all of a sudden, the zones are opening up for the Tyrants, and we've seen some different route combinations than we've seen most of the night.
Yeah, in the middle. And here I said they need to stop throwing in the middle. Well, you don't listen to me. They're moving the ball.
Man, best drive of the night, at least in the second half, by a long shot for Seattle. They had not had a first down on any of their first 3 drives of the quarter, and it's come with Luyendula through the air. Now this is Sandlin in the open field. Breaks a tackle. Sandlin gets rid of another, but ran out of real estate. Stops the clock with 59 seconds left after a pickup of 4.
Yeah, it shows, on that play, B.J. Armstrong was right behind. I can't remember I don't recall who the first defender was, but the team tackling out there is incredible. Got by the first defender, and Armstrong was right there waiting for him.
2nd down and 6 at the 26-yard line. Seattle down 18, but showing some signs of life here. They've got a receiver and a fullback off to the right side. Handoff goes to Sandlin. He gets it up the middle, breaks a tackle.
Wow.
Sandlin near a first down, but again, just inches short. B.J. Armstrong on the stop. Denver's defense has been very good against Sandlin in these 3rd and short situations so far tonight.
I'd still go to him. I mean, that he's shown he's money on those 3rd and shorts up the middle.
Sandlin's up to 23 carries, 123 yards. He's the low man in the backfield, but they've got a heavy line to the right. That's Carr, 2 down from the end. Handoff, Sandlin. Boy, he almost got hit the backfield, and Sandlin breaks it through for a touchdown for Seattle. What a run from Sandlin. He was dead to rights in the backfield and made something out of nothing.
It was only a matter of time. You can't keep that man out of the end zone for long. Took a while. They probably wanted it earlier in the game, but here you go. 3rd and short, he just bust through that defender and just took it right to the house.
It was a great play by Nick Miller to sort of blow that up in the backfield. Miller's having probably his best game as a Denver Nightwing of the season.
It certainly is, yep.
But Zach Sandlin makes him pay. 144 yards and a touchdown now for Sandlin. He has 6 straight games with at least 130 rushing yards. He has been ridiculous late in the season after he had a really slow start to his 3rd season in the league. As that extra point is good from Longfellow, and just like that, Seattle is right back.
Still a heartbeat.
28-17. For more information, visit simulationfl.net to join our community. Click that Discord icon in the top right-hand corner of the website and get involved in all of the conversation. Mayor Awesome, I see your DM, and we'll get with you after the ball game. Thanks for your support. 8 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and Denver will start from the 26-yard line. And, if you're the Tyrants, take a breath. You're okay. Down 11.
Not for long, though. They have to.
That's right. They got to do something.
Yeah, they're not out of the hole yet.
They need some more magic. Got that interception in the end zone. Denver, the one thing that you can say has been a negative for Denver tonight are just the mistakes, the sloppy play. As McChesney takes the handoff and is dragged down by Iverson Gamble from his cornerback position, making the play. We've got the 4th quarter music going. Put the 4s up. Denver leads 28-17. The final quarter of the SFL's 13th season is coming up next. You're watching the SFL Championship game on 11 Sports. Tonight's Simulation Football League Championship broadcast on 11 Sports is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help #secure the bag. By Laupina CBD, get a license to chill with the scientifically advanced CBD nano formula. Go hydro with Laupina CBD. By ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the SFL, and by Sector 6, the exclusive SFL apparel provider. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. It is the fourth quarter. We are ready for it, and one of these two franchises is about to get their first championship in franchise history. Denver's in the driver's seat, but just at the end of the third quarter, Seattle started to pull on some momentum as Miller will flip it outside to McChesney. McChesney's got a first down, picked up and thrown down after a hurdle of a defender that fell to make the tackle. Salinas makes the play at the end of it at the 39.
Yeah, there's no rest for Seattle. We said at the break, maybe they have a chance to take a breath. There's no way. They got to keep the foot down on the accelerator here and get the ball back. They need a turnover, I think.
First down and 10 at the 39. Two in the backfield, one receiver at the top of the screen. Miller calling an audible as that clock continues to wind. And again, 3-3 look for Seattle. Miller going to drop to throw. Fires it outside again to, this is McChesney. Wide open at the bottom of the screen. I thought it was Keel. They ran Keel on that little shoulder route, but it was McChesney leaking out of the backfield for a first down.
Yeah, that all started with the audible from Miller behind center. He saw something and was able to capitalize on that out route for McChesney.
And it looked like Avery Allen was going to be wide open down the field, but that's what Miller does. You know, he takes the short route, keeps the chains moving, tries to wear you down.
No mistakes.
Yeah, and that's probably the smart decision.
Yeah.
Up 11. Don't want to make that critical mistake. Denver's got three in the backfield. That clock is ticking. Oh, Seattle jumped offside. McChesney in the open field. Great job by Vincent. He came out of nowhere to make the play. It's a shame that a lineman jumped. I think it might have been Rukin. And that's not what Seattle was hoping for to start the fourth quarter, and it was Juke and Rukin.
Yeah, great tackle by Vincent. You don't see that very often on McChesney.
So Rukin called for the offside, and Seattle definitely does not want to be giving up a touchdown here. They've got to hold Denver to a field goal, keep it a two-score game. Miller's QBR up to 84. Got three in the backfield again. 1st and 5 at the 43. They'll hand it off to McChesney up the middle. Got a block, broke a tackle. McChesney pushes forward for a first down. Salinas with another tackle, but McChesney moves the chains again. He's up over 140.
Yeah, I mean, he runs like he's 6'5", 290. When he gets through that hole, you think he's going to get brought down, but he just keeps going and going.
192 all-purpose yards for McChesney, 163 for Sandlin on the other side. Miller's 20 for 31, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He'll throw. 1st and 10. Miller pump fake. Now has to check it down to McChesney. Poor angle there taken by Salinas, but Ajlani there to save the play. I thought McChesney was going to be gone for days.
I thought he was off to the races. Yeah, exactly. He had that whole lane open, but the defense closed that down pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is a problem now for Seattle. They're in Denver is in Jackman field goal range. The Nightwings have taken 2.5 minutes off this fourth quarter clock already here as they hand it off to McChesney. Got a couple of blocks. First down and more. McChesney being chased from behind out of the 13-yard line. Ajlani saved the touchdown. Might have been Gamble, actually. We'll get another look at it. But Jared McChesney having his way again.
Yeah, they don't have an answer at all for McChesney. He's getting great blocking up front, but it's what he does after he gets into that gap. He's just amazing. He's able to add to his run. I mean, you don't see many running backs that are able to do what he can do after he gets past the line.
It was Gamble that chased him down, and the difference tonight has been, Seattle's defense we knew was a little suspect, but the Tyrants have not been able to score with Denver. Denver's had the edge defensively, and that has been the difference. McChesney brought down for a 2-yard loss. Nice play. Salinas again. There's no way Angel Salinas has 2 tackles tonight. Playing too good. We have him officially down for 3, but man, it seems like we've been calling his name all night.
Yeah, that was a big tackle. Again, hard to bring that man down in open field.
7:43 to go in the ball game. McChesney, no, that's Baja. Skeeter Baja gets a couple of blocks and scores. And Denver is 7:39 away from putting an exclamation point on a phenomenal season.
Great offensive line blocking again. I mean, you see the impact they're having when the second halfback can go in there and get a big long run into the end zone like that.
Wow, absolutely tremendous play. And Denver back up by 18, extra point pending. And at this point, we've seen it before. In fact, it happened in the playoffs. Houston and Alaska was an 18-point game with about 6.5 to go. And Alaska came all the way back and won that game and absolutely stunned the viewing audience and everybody in the stadium. So it's not like it hasn't happened before, but Seattle, for that to happen, it doesn't matter what they do offensively. They got to get off the field on the other side of the ball.
And they're going to have to show us something on this offensive possession.
Man, Denver, considering their game against Houston and their game against Tallahassee, I think tonight has been their best performance of the playoffs. They made the adjustment. They went away from Allen. They got Giacomo Jones back re-engaged in the offense with 103 yards tonight. Keels got 77 and has been targeted 14 times. And McChesney's averaging 8 yards a carry. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job game planning tonight.
I'd also add that their defense is a good defense, but it's just plain superb tonight.
Really has. Justin Jones on the outside against Sandlin has been great. Junior Senior the third has 2 catches for 31 yards. Kirby, 2 for 37. That's it. Handoff, Sandlin, running right.
Here we go.
Got a block. Sandlin, 35. Breaks a tackle, 40. Zach Sandlin, 50. Being chased from behind and will be dragged down at the Denver 35-yard line. What an effort down the field by Nick Miller, the defensive end, who slowed him down. Sandlin up to 188, and Seattle not willing to go away.
Yeah, Sandlin is not going to go down without a fight. Another strong, powerful run by Sandlin.
But where was this in the second and third quarter? I mean, Sandlin looks rejuvenated here. Whatever was bothering him, maybe he got a shot on the sideline and feels a little bit better.
Yep, little pickle juice, and maybe the defense of Denver's getting a little tired too.
7:03 to go in the fourth. Luyendula now out of the empty here. Down 18 again, but the Tyrants are fighting. As Luyendula's going long, he's got Kirby. Oh! He dropped it. Kirby dropped it. He was open down the field, and that is really the first major gaffe of a Seattle receiver tonight.
I don't think maybe we'll see the replay here, but I don't think he led the receiver enough on that one. It looked like he had to turn around and come back to it. He was wide open.
Yeah, it definitely was a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. Luyendula underthrew him a little bit. 11 of 24. It has just not been his shining moment tonight. Second down and 10. Fires it outside. Senior the third trying to turn the corner. He spun it. Fumbled it out of bounds, and the ball bounces forward ahead of the first down line to give Seattle a first down. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That's a 4-leaf clover right there.
Wow, he didn't have the first. And the ball rolls out of bounds harmlessly to give Seattle the first down to the 24-yard line. 6:48 to go in the fourth. It does stop the clock. Tyrants still in the ball game. 4-3. Denver's been running the 4-3 a lot tonight. Luyendula drops to throw, fires short over the middle of the field. What is he doing? Mike Sawchuk again there to make the stop. And consider this, Seattle in the fourth quarter in their last 4 games is outscoring their opponents 67-23.
Insane.
They have owned the fourth quarter, and they got to turn it on right here, right now. But that is not what they need from Luyendula. I mean, just a horrible ball. Got to lead his receiver down the field.
Yeah, there's something's off with Luyendula. He's not as accurate as he's been in the previous playoff games.
Mike Sawchuk continues his ridiculous run defending passes over the middle here in the playoffs. Now with 5 passes defended this postseason as a linebacker. Luyendula on second down and 10. Pump fake.
Here we go.
Pass is caught inside the 10 down to the 7. But again, Charles, it looked like that pass was a little off target.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
Yep, it looked like he could have turned up, and if it gave him a little more lead on that pass, he would have been in the end zone.
What's this route by Kirby? Nice bump by Armstrong, but Kirby ran that better.
If it made it maybe less to the sideline, a little bit more to the middle of the field, he would have had enough space to catch that and take it in.
Now, one thing that has been better for Seattle in the second half has been their offensive line. Luyendula was not getting a lot of time in the first half, but the pocket's been clean here in the fourth quarter especially.
Yeah, they found the ways to get to him in the third and the second quarter, but it looks like they're starting to plug it up a little bit.
First and goal at the 7. Luyendula, time is a factor.
Here we go.
Pass is caught by Castle, but he can't get in. Precious seconds running off the clock is
sense of urgency here, fellas.
Teddy Farmer on the stop. Second and goal at the 2. Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
6:05 left. 3 in the backfield. And they're going to try to punch this in. There's 10 in the box. Senior the third's the only receiver at the bottom of the screen. The handoff goes to Sandlin. Sandlin didn't get in.
Big stop.
B.J. Armstrong and Nicholas Warner there on the stop. Third and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's a shining example of the Denver defense tonight.
And it's really at the 1.5, almost 2-yard line here. I can't believe. I'm really surprised they're trying to punch it in with Sandlin here. The way that Luyendula has been efficient, but they hand it off running left, and what do I know? Zach Sandlin touchdown, and Seattle not dead yet. They score, and we've had back-to-back touchdowns in the second half as this championship game is busted wide open.
Yeah, somebody must have slipped a note to Sandlin that said he hadn't scored any touchdowns that we were talking about on the broadcast because he's just erupted here in the second half.
Sandlin and McChesney, two of the best 3 or 4 running backs this season. Sandlin's got 190 on 27 carries. McChesney's got 159 on 19 carries, and both now have 2 touchdowns. 5:28 to go in the fourth quarter, and Longfellow's extra point is good, and it's an 11-point game again. Denver's got to keep answering. Seattle won't give it up. Tyrants, heavy underdogs at this point. We'll see what they do. 5:28 to go. You're watching the SFL Championship game on 11 Sports. And the big news of the night, at least off the field, was that the chair of Stash has returned to the commercial lineup. The chat loves the chair. And everybody's got their mascot back. And, boy, Stash must have heard the cries of SFL Nation, great company that supports the SFL. But, my goodness, the chat, I mean, it's like somebody scored a touchdown out there. Just losing their mind over the chair. We just love our SFL community. It's just such a fun league to be a part of. I think we're almost to 1,000 strong in the SFL community. Cannot wait for next season. It's going to be a phenomenal season. 1st and 10 at the 30. Denver protecting an 11-point lead. Seattle is desperate for a stop. Play action. And wide open is Jones, but he's out of bounds.
No way.
All night long, Giacomo Jones killing Seattle on that route. And that time he ran it a little bit too wide. And it's 2nd and 10 and stops the clock.
It's just what Seattle wanted.
Wow. I mean, is that an omen or what?
Yeah,
and now
it's getting spooky
the pressure
before Halloween.
The pressure's on the Nightwings. They scored 35, by the way, in last season's championship game. But you start to get a little bit of anxiety. We'll see what they do on 2nd and 10 at the 30. They're going to run the same play. Run it again if it didn't work the first time. Pass caught by Jones.
Yeah.
Pickup of 6. I like them going back to the well there.
Yep, and they did it perfectly that time. Perfect execution.
Denver's 5 of 8 on 3rd downs, but they did not get their most recent 3rd down. What do you think? McChesney here on 3rd and 4?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a running back saying that, but he's not out there.
4 receivers and empty on 3rd down and 4 for Denver. 5:05 and counting. Miller to throw. No pressure. Keel caught with a stiff arm. 1st down to midfield, and the drive will continue for the Nightwings.
Yeah, that was a gutsy call, I think. I mean, I think most coaches might have run it on that one, but that's probably why you've only got one coach here in the championship.
Keel chopped those feet, and Martino just back off too far. And time, once again, working against the Tyrants. If they can get at least a stop for a field goal, it gives them a chance. But the Tyrants really in need of a turnover. I formation. Miller going to hand it to McChesney. And McChesney running left. Going to pick up a solid 5 yards. Ajlani comes over to make the stop along with Lyric Jenkins, who's been a little quiet tonight. 2nd and 5, 4:18 and ticking.
Yeah, 1st down's really going to hurt Seattle here.
Back here in the broadcast booth, Charles Doherty to my left, and Cameron Irvine here with you in studio. 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line. Patiently waiting for Denver's next move. Hand off to McChesney. Seattle's coming with the pressure. And Cain Vasquez makes the stop to pick up 3. And if this is the final time, depending upon how crazy things get here late in the game, if this is the final time that you see me and Charles this season, it has been a pleasure calling games with you this season and calling games for all of you out there in SFL Nation. It's been such a fun season.
Yeah, it's been an honor doing games with you, Cam. Thank you.
3rd and 2 at the Seattle 42-yard line. There is 3:26 on the clock. You just get the feeling this is the ball game here. 2 in the backfield, just 6 in the box for Seattle. They have not stacked the box too often tonight. Handoff goes to McChesney. They get the block. McChesney's got a 1st down, breaks a tackle, and McChesney's down to the 32-yard line. Seattle's they're just not putting men in the box, or not enough to stop this Denver rushing attack.
Yeah, like we said on the Denver side, when the running back gets touched, there's normally 2 or 3 guys behind him to bring him down. You're not seeing that on the Seattle side.
When Cain Vasquez, your safety, Iverson Gamble, your corner, leads your team in tackles, that's not a good thing. Vasquez has 7. Gamble, 6 tackles, 2nd on the team. E.K. Vincent has 5. Angel Salinas has 4. And Mahmoud Ajlani has 4 for that Seattle defense. But now, I mean, the clock.
They're eating up the clock.
They are eating up the clock. Yep. Seattle has to force a field goal now. They just cannot get Denver off the field in the second half as McChesney gets wrapped up quickly by Vasquez, but that'll be the final play before the 2-minute warning, and time is now on the side, Denver.
Yeah, they're starting to get that nervous excitement in Denver. Are they gonna get the cup?
Wow. Second, if they do, they just missed out on it last year.
Yeah.
They could have easily been back-to-back champions after Alaska was back-to-back champions, but it didn't happen that way. But they could get their first championship tonight. 2 minutes left. Denver trying to close it out, and Seattle desperate to get off the field. You're watching the SFL's 13th championship game on 11 Sports. We'll return for the final 2 minutes in a moment. Two minutes left. Seattle is in some trouble. 35-24. They need a stop. And again, 6 in the box against 8 blockers is not good math for Seattle. And McChesney's got a 1st down and more down to the 14-yard line. It's just a numbers game, Charles.
Definitely.
Seattle has no answer. They have no heavy looks.
Yeah, that 3-man line is not working. They need more than 6 people in the box to bring McChesney down.
And it's obvious, if you're watching at home, you're saying, well, why don't they just do that? Well, if it's not part of the game plan,
right?
Then it's just simply not going to get called. And I think that Seattle thought they could stop him with 6 in the box. Now Gamble's creeping over, but they just have not been able to do that tonight. As McChesney takes the handoff, he's going nowhere. Finally, Seattle able to get a stop. And they've got 1 timeout left. Denzel Maverick, who's had a very quiet second half, makes the play. Seattle's only hope at this point is probably to get a Jackman field goal, 2-score game. You get a long touchdown, you onside kick, and you hope and pray.
Well, we've had a fumble before. They can get a fumble and get the ball back, or some type of turnover.
Yeah, the one thing Denver has been tonight, unorthodoxly, is careless. And we'll see how they take care of the ball here. Oh,
nice
McChesney
gets
whacked at the 13-yard line as everybody was. I mean, they were selling out on McChesney. And that's the last of Seattle's timeouts. 3rd down and 9. Do you throw here if you're Denver? Just put it away. No?
No. No, I mean, you've got the best kicker in SFL history out there. Just run it, let him go out there and use his golden shoe.
It's a 21-degree night, so you can see the breath coming from Miller. They're going to throw. Play action. It's Aoki, and he caught it. He caught it. The fullback comes up clutch, and the game is over. Wow, what a gutsy call. In Aoki, we trust.
Wow.
If you're Denver.
That's trust right there. They went to him 4 times?
Yeah.
Then he caught it once.
And
the one catch counted? Came out a little ugly, but yeah.
Wow. So Seattle, at the end of the day, they just couldn't get off the field. That's the storyline. That's what everybody's going to go home with is they just couldn't get a stop. What a great second half by Denver's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver's offense in the second half, they got it going a little bit in the second quarter, but in the second half, I mean, they have been unstoppable offensively.
Yep, that's it. They don't stop. They just keep going. And then you look up at the board, and there's 35 points on the scoreboard.
The Denver Nightwings, 1 kneel down away from the franchise's first championship. We have a few moments for post-game roundup, but running short on time here tonight. But, man, this is it right here. The kneel down, the celebration, the Denver Nightwings at home after going to Alaska last season and losing a heartbreaker, a nail-biter, a blurry blizzard out there in Alaska. Denver comes home, and the Nightwings will get the first franchise championship and the first championship for Jeremy Vega and company. And what a scene here in Denver. Just unreal. Congratulations to the Nightwings. Their only loss coming all the way back in week 2. And look at that offensive production, 487 yards. No turnovers, or just the 1 turnover in the second half in the end zone, but Seattle did nothing with it. It was inconsequential.
Yeah, they couldn't keep up with Denver. I mean, they were hanging with them in the first half, but Denver just kept going down, steady and straight, and kept putting points on the board, and Seattle didn't have an answer for it.
That pass intercepted by Justin Jones there, and if Seattle's going to look back at this game and they're going to say, if we just didn't come out flat out of the locker room, we might have had a chance in a shootout, But that third quarter, Denver kept on scoring, and Seattle couldn't even get a first down half the time.
Yeah, that's a heck of a time to get flat. I mean, Luyendula it's not the Luyendula we saw in the prior games in the playoffs. I mean, he's been crazy accurate and cannon of an arm, getting it out quick, and today it just seemed like something was off.
Credit to Denver's defense where credit is due. They held Luyendula to 50% completion. He was coming in, completing 73% of his passes in the postseason. 14 of 28, just 147 yards. And Quiet Kirby was quiet. 3 catches, 54 yards. Still led the team in receiving, but nobody on Seattle had more than 4 catches, and that was Sandler.
Yeah, you got hats off to the Denver defense. I mean, they've been good all season, but really in this game, I think this is probably one of their best, if not the best, showing.
Zach Sandlin, 190 rushing yards. Jared McChesney, 191 rushing yards. And your MVP of tonight's game is Jared McChesney, 26 carries, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also had 58 receiving yards through the air. As we get one last look at the scene here from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, honoring the late, great Hall of Fame running back who passed away a few years ago, and for all of what he stood for, just awesome to see as we welcome you into the post-game show. Awesome that he got recognized, I should say, here tonight with the stadium being named in his honor. And a reminder for Denver Nightwings fans, Sector6Apparel.com, your summer 2019 champions shirts will be up very shortly in the store. And some thoughts, Charles, just on tonight's games to try to put a bow on it.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Denver and Jeremy. What a great job. I mean, you can clearly see the type of work they put into great planning throughout the season. And really excited that we have a new champion this season. But also, you know, got to take my hat off to Seattle as well. I mean, they've had a very strong season as well. You know, unfortunately, one team's got to walk away with the victory, and it was Denver tonight. I think Seattle next season is going to be strong, if not stronger than they were this season. I'm looking forward to maybe jumping the gun here, but I'm looking forward to them, Seattle and Denver. Hopefully, they'll get to play each other next season.
If you're on the Denver Nightwings and you're interested in participating in some post-game reaction, our post-game reaction will be with Live CGI, who will put out a show in the next couple of days. We're going to deep dive into some SFL plays on Live CGI Esports later in the week, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. If you're interested in being interviewed after the championship game victory, please reach me in a direct message, and we'll see about figuring out how to get you on that show. Final chat shout-outs. Mom Miles, Lord Destro Productions, Swole 2011, AJ Today, Jackson, BJ Loveless, 247, Eddie Gage, Lloyd Graham, C. Rowland, Swole 20... sorry, I said Swole twice, you sneaky devil. Lloyd Graham is in there. I'm effing Problems in there. And Yogi Bear 60, Maverick Legend, Mayor Awesome, all in there in the chat tonight. And let's hear for the last time, Charles, try to wrap up this game and put a pin really on this season. It was an absolutely tremendous season. We did not have the same champion that we've had for the last year and a half. And Denver did it. And from the moment the gun went off on this season, the Nightwings, they look for real.
Yeah, near perfect season. I mean, they have one loss, and you know they've a near perfect season for them. Hats off to them. Again, you can see the amount of effort that they put into their planning, and you know they're a quality organization, and I don't expect anything less of them next season.
For Seattle, they just moved from Dallas. This is their first season playing in Seattle. They make the championship. It's the first season that Crash Combs has been the managing or majority owner of this football team. The fact that they got here tonight, played a competitive football game. They were the underdogs, and actually in Who You Got, they were just
barely,
ever so slightly underdogs.
Yeah.
But if you were putting a line on this, you probably would have given Denver a touchdown, maybe
just
6
a nod.
or 5 points.
Basically, home. They got the home field advantage.
Yeah, they got the home field advantage, and it showed tonight. But Seattle, in a loss tonight, they did something this season that most teams only dream of.
You know, special. I mean, a lot of special players on that team. Again, excited to see what they do next season. You know, hopefully they can keep the core of the talent they have. I think we're going to be expecting bigger and better things from them.
So many people to thank for all of their help this season in the Simulation Football League. Chris Pond, behind the scenes, helping us keep things working across all of the various 11 sports outlets. Charles Doherty, my partner all year long. Gerald Smith, Rochelle Colston on stats tonight. Director of Player Personnel, Andrew Rostelli. SFL President, Jermaine Smith. The Director of Broadcasting, Mike Daggs. Head of Stats, Mark Lopez. The beat writing leader of Simulation Football, or SimulationFL.net, Ray Bentley. We've had a tremendous season. All of our staff, Ryan Karpinski assisting Rostelli all season long, and we're about to hit the off season. December 14th, Saturday, December 14th is the live SFL draft. But for all of us, for all of our commentators, all of our live statisticians, all of our players, coaches, owners, scouts, this has been the Simulation Football League and a presentation of the SFL on 11 Sports. I'm Cameron Irvine. Thank you all for being here all season long, and we'll see you in the winter. Congratulations, Denver Nightwings, Season 13 champions.
All right, guys, you're done. Yeah, it was. Thanks, Cameron. All right, man. Take care. Bye.
Adam's got the trophy too.
Hey, what up, Cam?
Dude, Cam.
Dude, that
Cam,
was
I fucking love you, Cam, and I don't care what the world says, because the world knows we're fucking champions right now, baby. Let's go!
Yeah.
You don't even want to know.
I've seen him much drunker, but he's pretty intoxicated. No, it's not that bad yet. Give him like an hour.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, but yeah, in an hour, I won't even talk to my mother anymore at this point. Hey, I didn't do it. This fucking team did it. And all 16 guys are the best guys I've ever met in my entire life. I love every single one of them. They all brought it, and they all brought this championship to Denver together.